Kuldeep, and today we are going to discuss about enhancements that have been introduced in the latest version of Creo 7.0. Before moving ahead and diving deep into the core enhancements, a brief introduction about Deltron. Deltron is a company that's based at Sharjah Airport, Frizan. We are backed by a team of competent engineers who hold multi-year experience in their respective domains and are experts in their field. A short note about myself. My name is Kuldeep, and I look after the sales at Deltron. I hold engineer's degree in mechanical, and I'm holding an MBA in marketing. Uh, now, let's try to first discuss why Creo. Why would customers like to subscribe to Creo or use Creo as compared to other offerings from the market? What makes PTC's offering unique against any competition, and why customers always bank upon us for the solutions or technological needs whenever they are in need of what. So, Creo is a 3D CAD solution that helps customers to build better products faster, accelerating product innovation, reusing some of their design, and replacing assumption with facts. Going from the earliest conceptual phases of product design to manufacturing to fully deployed smart connected products in the field with Creo, customers can take numerous advantages while taking advantage of the solutions being offered by BTC Creo. In fast-changing, highly competitive world of the industrial IoT, I believe there's no other company that can get customers substantial value as quickly and as effectively as BTC Creo. Emerging technologies are disrupting many aspects of design and manufacturing, thereby driving a renaissance of design across engineering manufacturers. PTC is taking these technologies and deeply integrating them in the design environment so that users and design engineers working in everyday CAD tool can use them as part of their existing workflows. I believe, especially with Creo and the vision of essence of design comes to fruition. In the next slide, there are some core enhancements that have been introduced in Creo 7.0, especially related to the productivity, the generative design, the simulation, multi-body design, and the additive and subtractive manufacturing. For an engineering executive, these four enhancements would mean that a breakthrough innovation in generative design, real-time simulation, additive manufacturing, multi-body design, and empowers an executive to succeed in new routes. For a mechanical engineering manager who is working for a team, Creo empowers a team with new capabilities in areas of graphical design, real-time simulation, additive manufacturing, multi-body design, and numerous other product enhancements. I believe with these enhancements, the team at mechanical engineers will be more productive, innovative, and create higher quality products faster than ever. For an end user, Creo enables the next generation of design innovation with new capabilities. These improvements would allow him to ideally build higher quality products faster than before. Additionally, the core productivity enhancements make Creo more effective and easier to use than before. As with our Creo 7.0 features significant core modeling improvements, which allow you to design better products faster. I would like to discuss some of the more impactful ones in the product sector. New capabilities in Creo 7.0 include enhanced draft, improvements to coding error, and multiple UI improvements to Sketcher tool. Additionally, there have been multiple improvements including runs, updated animation errors, and branding improvements. These capabilities are easy to use, intuitive, and available to everyone. A brief demo on some of the functionalities available inside the Sketcher. There are two major enhancements with the ability of constraints and mirror. With MVD, it makes and supports latest ASCII and ISO standards. Enhanced draft is highly automated in the newer version, which makes it easy for users to recognize draft from imported files. This process was a highly manual process in many releases. Rendering introduced three major enhancements, including the addition of control, manual visual windows, and a pause option. The next major enhancement in the Creo is for generative design. Creo 7.0 introduces AI-driven generative design, helping customers to deliver the best designs in best possible time. Before delving deep into the specific addition or movement of the capability of generative design, let us first try to understand what generative design is. Because this technology is not a very old technology. This technology has matured in recent years itself. And I believe Creo is almost in terms of adopting the new technology. Generative design can help unleash digital transformation across the entire enterprise. With generative design, manufacturers can drive workforce productivity by proactively addressing the skills. An entry-level mechanical engineer, for example, can create a part through generative design without extensive knowledge of manufacturing processes that a senior engineer would have from years in field of the design. Generative design also allows engineers to explore traditional and advanced manufacturing techniques to get differentiated products, bringing value to not just productivity, but to competitive differentiation. What's more, it improves the supply chain processes. Let's try to imagine a scenario wherein there are around 25 parts to manufacture, and with the help of generative design technology, customers can probably reduce these parts to one or two. This itself will have a lot of impact on the processes. With generative engineers can take advantage of the advanced manufacturing techniques and embrace additive manufacturing. With the introduction of Creo 7.0, we have introduced a new topology optimization extension inside Creo 7.0. Creo generative topology optimization automates the design of innovative products based on functional objectives, constraints, loads, and manufacturing processes. The result is a design which is optimized for efficiency and manufacturability in a way that's human designer could have never easily produced using the transfer or using the traditional process. Some of the core, I would say, advantages in the topology extraction would be ease of use, fast optimization setup, powerful optimization technology, result verification and integration, semi-automatic CAD reconstruction, interactive and parametric behavior. The last option of interactive and parametric behavior is where Creo is unique compared to other competition, whereas I do. Because with this functionality, users can again go back to the parametric model, do any design change, and the topology extension automatically modifies the generated design without them having to recreate all of the processes. As far as I understand, there is no software that offers this core functionality. This is a case study from a company called GENERATIVE Engineering, and GENERATIVE Engineering is involved in designing next generation space for NASA. The user at GENERATIVE Engineering say that GENERATIVE expects that using generative design will shorten the design time by up to 20% and produce parts which are incredibly lightweight, resulting in significant fuel savings. The next major enhancement introduced inside the Creo is called real-time simulation. Now, Creo real-time simulation is powered by analysts who are leaders in the simulation industry. Imagine a case scenario wherein a user would always like to create the best product he can. But the traditional methods of creating products and then sending them to manufacturing is that users often have to iterate the design with minimal feedback from the simulation. There is no direct connection between the design and the simulation. So typically what happens is that once the user design a product, they get these products back to the simulation, and simulation team does some modifications inside the constraints and again advises the designer to do changes so that it can meet the objective. This is an iterative process which goes back and forth, and it results in a lot of productivity issues because there is no direct way users can actually understand what would be the implication if there is a design change. Imagine if you have a CAD tool that can provide you with real-time feedback on the design decisions that users make. Imagine how fast and more effective it would be to iterate to meet the design goals to bring great products to market faster. Creo simulation makes this available. Now, significant changes have been introduced in the Creo simulation live for flow analysis. In Creo 7.0, fluid flow analysis inside Creo with the name Creo simulation live extension. The software gives you instant flow simulation capabilities and it's directly integrated within the Creo environment. Specifically for engineers, software's ease of use is their they no longer need to worry about having a CFD expert knowledge to run the simulation. As users and designers they change it to the government, analysis get automatically and dynamically updated. Creo is live, is fast, intuitive, and powerful. In addition to Creo 7.0 also has significant improvements to the Creo simulation live. Workflow and UI improvements introduced help the users of product and increase productivity for the customers. Improvements to the agent make results easier to implement. Additionally, we can also now conduct a transient and thermal study of the software. These capabilities are more insight into the real performance of the product. An example of a company using the Creo simulation background is Randy J. At Electronics mentioned that it's unbelievable to support Creo simulation live for their products. What this company does is in case you go to any stadium, you find these all big frames that are hanging here. And these frames hold big LED and LCD panels. So Electronics design is why these frames are designed, it's very much important that the frames are designed to the optimal factor of safety and also weight is taken into consideration so that the frame or the structure should hold all the requisite parameters and requisite spaces. With the introduction of the Creo simulation, electronics can directly get the results without the having to iterate between design and analysis of. The next major, I would say one of the major enhancements introduced in Creo 7.0 is the multibody. Now, multibody design was a request that was pending long of the customers because there were some advantages which users would have. Now, with the introduction of multibody design, the users can implement advantages in all areas, including generative, as long as execution and etc. Now, what exactly is the multibody design? With the multibody design, the software allows you to separately manage, visualize, and design geometric volumes. The next, the new workflow leads to a more efficient and flexible part design and a better user. Multibody design is particularly useful for generative design for additive manufacturing, and simulation-driven designs. Some of the advantages of multibody design are that it improves making products faster and easier design of workflows, increased visualization and usability while customers have multibody options available, flexibility to develop more efficient and flexible part design. For an additive or let's say for generative design, multibody is immensely useful because, for example, if users want to design a generative design, with the additional multibody design, users can separately designate starting geometry and exclude geometry from the study when they don't want the geometry to be considered. Users can manage the resulting in different types, such as generative or BREF. With all this flexibility, there's an innovation that's possible. In terms of the additive manufacturing, multibody again helps users to change the print color and material for specific geometry, giving them greater flexibility design on the optimal product. In terms of simulation, multibody again helps users to perform best under the real conditions. Multibody design ideally allows users to use multibody for simulation processes. This is particularly useful for analyzing fluid cavities using CFD dynamics. In addition to multibody design, it's just not for, I would say, specialized cases. It's helpful in day-to-day whether a Creo user or a Creo user uses the software. Creo 7 gives greater flexibility and control over geometry, making it more productive than ever before using the multibody design. One other major enhancement introduced inside the Creo is for the additive and subtractive manufacturing. I will dwell more on the additive manufacturing. And additive manufacturing has been there since past, I believe, it's around 20 years or so. Users have 3D printing parts, but recent most of the parts that were printed were used for performance and also for graphics. Obviously, for the past couple of years, now parts are being printed for production. This is something that has not come in the market because there are significant and numerous advantages of using 3D for production purposes. Now, a problem with additive manufacturing, especially concerned with production of parts, is that there are many softwares that users use while getting a part. The users need to use the software for design, and they need to optimize it, then they need to validate it and crunch it. Now, all these parts or all these processes that are involved in the software involve different application or usage of the software. Because the users want final production parts and release these parts to manufacture, they need to recreate the models in CAD. Now imagine what's going to happen if there is a design change. So whenever there is a design change, then the users need to again go back to the basics, and it's a huge iterative process that releases that results in loss of production. With Creo additive manufacturing and design extension, users can design, optimize, validate, and run a print check in a single environment, thereby reducing overall process time and mistakes. Users can make use of out-of-box capabilities, including print check, creation of print trays. Users can directly connect to Stratasys and 3D plastic printers, and also materialize Print Hero. Users can design for additive manufacturing in polymers and in metal, and then connect direction to the chosen printer with its optimized print profile and support structures. With Creo, users can create variety of parametrically and partially controlled data structures. Because of the tight integration with Creo parametric and Creo simulate, we are able to analyze and optimize these data sets. And since uniform lattice structures are not always able to achieve the optimal solution customers desire, Creo provides users with the ability to vary the size of lattice beams and localized areas, allowing customers to design for exact engineering responses as you need. Creo features improvements in Creo manufacturing extension. Users can now add lattices based on the Delone. The software identifies and follows hard edits, meaning the lattices are faster and cleaner. Additionally, customer cell implements give users flexibility while creating the lattices. So lattices based on the Delone are now introduced inside the Creo. So lattices identify and follow hard edits. These lattices are especially useful for medical manufacturing devices and products which require heat transfer application or power consumption. Finally, additive manufacturing now introduced and fully added plugin from a product called Untitled. This is a third-party product sold by Additive Works that has been introduced by Creo. One of the major additions or I would say improvements by the introduction of this product is that imagine a situation wherein customers need to 3D print their parts, and at the end of the printing, they feel that there's a deflection in the part. So most of the software as of now do not calculate the deflection introduced after the printing is done inside the part. So with the introduction of this product, the software is able to calculate the deflection of any given part based on the design and based on the placement of support structures. Once the deflection is identified in the software, it includes or introduces a shift in the CAD design so that when the component is printed across, the deflection is compensated. In addition to additive manufacturing, there have been improvements in the subtractive manufacturing, where Creo now supports Swiss-turn machines. In addition to the addition of Swiss-turn machines, software is more intuitive and more user-friendly for very complex military machines which have multiple turrets and multiple design stations. There have been some notable advantages and improvements into the PLM part, as well as the IoT and the augmented reality part. So, having said that, I would pass it on to my colleague Rasesh. Rasesh is an application expert with Enron, and Rasesh will dwell more upon the improvements I have briefly discussed inside. And I believe he's also going to mention about the home usage licenses. Considering the current situation, how users can get benefited with the home usage license that is offered inside the Creo, and what's the procedure and to get that license installed on a user who is working from the home. So I pass it on to my colleague Rasesh, and at the end of the demonstration, if you have got any queries with regards to product, please feel to contact me. Thank you.
Thanks, Kuldeep. Hope everybody is able to see my screen. So, as Kuldeep discussed, the objective of my presentation will be to showcase the technical capabilities or the new enhancement in Creo 7. One of the major enhancements that Creo has come up with is the multi-body approach to product design. So, as part of this multi-body capability, we will see how we can create complex grooves in a plastic handle using pattern geometry of a body. So first of all, in the interface, you can see that in the model tab, there is a body group which has been added that allows you to deal with multiple bodies within any part geometry. So as part of this exercise, I want to create a basic tool body. Then I will pattern it using a simple pattern option. And then I'll be able to subtract that geometry from the. So we'll go for the front plane. I'll click extrude. I'll switch to the normal orientation. And I want to take this opportunity to also showcase some sketching enhancements. So I'll go for a simple rectangle. And you can see that the system is quite interactive in snapping and also giving you the feedback about the relationship that it is capturing. So I'm coinciding one of the reference lines to start this rectangle. And if I snap it, so it is intelligently snapping to any existing geometry as well. We can control this snapping interface. Hope everyone is able to see my screen. Okay, so let me start from scratch. So basically, I want to create complex grooves in this plastic handle using multi-body techniques. All right, so you can see in the interface that you have now a group called body, which contains commands for operations on multiple bodies if they are available in a part geometry. Also, you can see on the left hand side from the model tree, there is a category called bodies, and currently there is only one body in this component as of now. So now I will create the tool body that will be used to manipulate this geometry. I'll go for the front plane. I'll create extrude. Click to orient the view parallel to the screen. I will then go for a simple rectangle. All right. And I will dimension as per the design intent. So I'll go for this being 1.5, this being 0.5, and I'll create one more dimension between this object and this one. This is going to be 0.5. Okay, I will set the depth as a symmetric depth, give it 45 value, and currently it is merging with the original feature, which was a default option. But now, as part of the multi-body approach, there is an additional tab which is available for base features like extrude. So if we go to the body options tab, we can now have the option of creating it as a new body. So I'll go for a new body. I'll hit OK. Now we can perform some specific operations on this newly activated body. So you can see in the model tree that body 2 is now the active body in this part. All right, so I can go for some local operations on this body. I'll select this edge. I'll click chamfer. I'll make it 0.3. I'll also select control and select the other edge. Right? Now I will create a group of these two features so that I can pattern it. So I'll go for group from the mini toolbar, and then I can utilize the pattern option, a simple dimension pattern. So I'll select this one and I will say 2.5 and 27 as a number of copies. So now you have a pattern. I'll create one more feature so that it will remove the unwanted portion of the bodies that will be required for the eventual Boolean operation. I'll go for the top face of body 1, go for extrude. I can utilize offset project edge option with the loop option. Select the surface once again. So the offset is in the wrong direction. I'll enter minus with the number so that it is offset in the right direction. And then I'll hit close, hit OK. I want to go for remove material, so I'll go for flip and also activate remove material option. And I can go for a certain depth. Right? And I can also go for flipping. So now it ensures that whatever material is retained is the one that I want to eventually cut from the yellow body. I'll hit OK. So now there are two bodies, and you can see now that there are certain operations which are automatically associated with those bodies. As the features get created here, those features get associated automatically with the respective bodies. So now I can set the geometry filter to bodies. I can go for selecting the body, or I can go for the merge option, Boolean operations option, select subtract option, select the yellow body to be modified, and the modifying body to be the pattern of the tool bodies. And you get the final result that you were looking for. So such kind of complex operations earlier were also possible with Creo, but you had to use a lot of surface modeling techniques. to get this geometry. So now with multi-body approach, it offers a more flexible, more efficient workflow to get this geometry. All right. I will also want to show some enhancements in sheet metal. So if I go to sheet metal, so now there is a quick enhancement in the form of how forms are treated in the flattened state. So I'll create a simple planar sheet metal geometry. I'll give it a specific thickness. And now I will go for a form option in the form of a sketched form. I'll select the top face. I will sketch something like a circle. I'll select OK. I will extrude the depth. I'll go for some fillets on the placement edges. I'll also add some taper. Now you can see that there is some deformation here. So if you go to the flat state, if I preview the flat state, so you can see that there is some unwanted deformation here, which can prove very difficult in the manufacturing stage. All right, so now we can get rid of this deformation by simply redefining the form. And under options now we have an extra option of trimming the edges. So as soon as you go for trim edges, you can see that the deformation is gone. And if you now preview the flattened state, you get a nice clean edge that is suitable for manufacturing. Okay, so a nice enhancement there. For the draft, the enhancement in draft is supposed to be on imported geometry, but it also acts on existing Creo geometry. So I'll create a simple block. And I'll go for draft. So now you see that these surfaces are already drafted, right? So if I now go for draft, and if I select the same surface once again, right? So you have the ability to redraft once again the same set of surfaces, which was not possible earlier. Plus, you can change the draft angle as well. So this is again another good enhancement, which works very well on imported geometry as well as on native Creo geometry. So there are multiple enhancements, and for the sake of time, we cannot cover each and every enhancement. But there are similar advantages of multi-body across the entire product development process. be it live simulation, be it fluid flow simulation, be it generative design, or be it topology optimization, as well as in additive manufacturing, which Kuldeep has already stressed upon. I would like to draw attention to certain other benefits available under Creo licensing if you are under subscription. Namely, those are home use licenses and license borrowing. So basically, Creo home use licenses are available to every user who is under active subscription. So with every license, say if you go for a standalone license, you get one home use license. But if you go for a floating license or a concurrent license, you get two home use licenses. Okay, so home use licenses show up in a customer's install base and are obtained the exact same way as the commercial license, either through the web tools or via license management. Okay, so there is a certain procedure that a customer would go through to obtain these licenses. So first of all, there is something called as a designated admin within your company that gets access to license management privileges on the customer account portal of ptc.com. The admin will create a list of users, CPU IDs that want a home use license, and they will utilize the web tools to obtain locked license files. Okay, so one thing that I want to add here is that even though you go for, if your main license is for Creo Design Advanced, that will give you the capability to access advanced assembly extension licenses, the home use license will always be based on the base package, which is Creo Design Essentials. So irrespective whether you have a Creo Design Advanced or a Creo Design Advanced Plus or a Creo Design Premium, which will give you access to a host of other extensions, the home use license will always be a base package, and it is a locked license, right? So each user, the admin can create a thumb drive with a folder containing the license codes and the Creo installation software, and then the user can take the thumb drive home, install the software, and drag the specific license into the licensing page of the installation and let Creo install it from there. Creo packages also include e-learning, right? So both Precision Learning Management System and the new Training Central License Learning Management System operate on an open licensing scheme based on the organization name assigned to the company. Any user who establishes a PTC service account gets associated with an organization or a company. If they are in the organization, they can access the e-learning. This license quantity establishes a monthly limit of unique user access that the customer is supposed. We reserve the right to audit page to ensure the customer stays below the license quantity. The system does not lock out access if the license quantity is exceeded in any given month. Creo also allows license borrowing. So basically with license borrowing, you can run Creo applications on all clients without being connected to the license server. One of the requirements for borrowable license is that you need to configure your license server with a borrow license file. The license file must have a keyword called borrow, and you can then go for borrowing licenses. So one of the key things in borrow license is that you can extend this borrow duration. The default borrow duration is 15 days, okay, but it can be extended to a period of 180 days. For this, you need to set up an environment variable called lm_borrow_duration, and that must be set on the client machine as a system environment variable. and that can be set to a value of 179. All right. So let me show you from where you can initiate the borrow application. So if you go to your Creo load point, that is where the application is installed. You can go to Common Files. Yeah, so you have to go to the parametric folder within the Creo installation folder, bin folder, and there is a batch file called PTC borrow. You have to initiate this application while the license is connected to the license server. I'll close my existing Creo sessions. So this is the interface of the borrow. So you have to select the configuration which you want to borrow. Then you have to set up the borrow duration. So I believe you can set it maximum to 5. All right. But as I said, this can be extended to 179 with the help of an environment variable. And you have to click on Start. So as you click on the Start, the Creo session will be started, and then you can disconnect or you can exit the Creo session, and then you can disconnect from the license server and again start the borrow license. All right, so this is in general the procedure for borrowing. You can also, in case if you want to return the borrow license early, then even that can be done using a certain environment variable called throw allow early return. So this is something that I wanted to show as part of the presentation. So for users who want to prefer or who have been asked to work from home, these are the options that PTC provides in the form of home use licenses and in the form of license borrow. And I can show the borrow license, the license file which has a keyword called borrow. So whenever PTC issues license files, you get 2 license files. One is a standard with a keyword called standard, and one is a keyword without the standard. So the borrowable license file is the one which is without the standard keyword. So if you open this file as an example, and if you go for searching for the word borrow, we'll find that this license file has the keyword borrow. So you need to use this license file for configuring the FlexNet license manager. And then you can initiate the borrowing procedure using the PTC borrow.py. This was all from my side. Any technical queries, you can feel free to contact me or Kuldeep. Thank you.